I'm on my Clash of Stats profile. As you can see here, all info regarding the account. Go down to the rankings. Apparently I am 4th in Australia for Town Hall 11s. Wrong. Number 1. Highest Town Hall 11 in Australia cups ever. I have a high ranking in the world for Town Hall 11. How do I know this? Stick around. I'll show you. G'day folks, Spackman here. Thanks for stopping by. Please put a like on the video and a subscribe if you're appreciating the content. A bunch more to come now that my life's starting to settle down. And start off with looking at some of the stuff from the previous video. Got my highest ever cup level 6149, and during that video I wondered, how do I actually rate compared to the rest of the Town Hall 11s pushing in the world? Especially now that it's the underdog Town Hall, with the Town Hall 12 being out there. Where do I sit? And I didn't know how I could check into that. I did know of the website Clash of Stats. However, at that point in time, I didn't realise it had details particularly relating to the Town Halls. Since I have learnt it does. Now what we're looking at here is my profile on Clash of Stats, just on the iPad. All info regarding, some rep records I've held, where all of my troops and whatnot have built up to. And if we click on the rankings, which I already have open at the moment, goes down here. It says best trophies Australia 64, which is overall Town Halls, and number 4 for Town Hall 11. It's not accurate. Got the highest ever Town Hall level ranking for Australia. The number 2 is about 60-90. And adding on to this, a number of the other information regarding the Town Halls is inaccurate. Now, how do I know this? Reason being, majority of the high scores listed for these Town Hall 11s was when Town Hall 11 was the pinnacle of the game, before Town Hall 12 had been released. So people were comfortably being able to hit 6,300 cups, 6,400 cups, were they really pushing hard. Worldwide, for example, you have a few 6,500s even under Town Hall 11. Obviously, that's not for the purposes of what I'm looking for in terms of the world record once Town Hall 12 is out. That doesn't help me. So yeah, this guy's got 4 of the top 6, but 6,500, 6,400. It's not actually accurate. So how do I then go through this and figure out where I sit? Firstly, I went to the very end of this. There's 500 there. They go all the way down to 6,200. And because I only go down to 6,200, what I did to find out where I sit in these rankings is category by category. I opened up every single one. Give you an example with international. I opened up this. Number 1 here, Rock Hard Golem. Get that clan and the player ID, put that into the search on the Clash app, open it up, and find out when exactly they achieved the 64-79 or whatever cups they were. Time after time, every single person had this high score from either May 2018 or earlier. Some people have since upgraded to Town Hall 12. Majority have just retired and given up the game entirely for whatever reason. There are some going back as far as 2015, 2016 in terms of their best ever season pushing, and a few even that were number 1 and number 2 in the world for that season. But again, back when Town Hall 12 was the best. So I went through every single person who was above my 61.49, which in this list is roughly 30 players. So I go through all of those, search them on Clash, come back up to the top, move on to the next category. There are a lot of categories and a lot of players, maybe 600 total. Every single one I went through. Every single one. Long, painstaking process, many hours, but I had to know. Now, moving back to Clash, there was one slimy little bugger who's got me beat. I'll bring him up in just a tick. Kudos to the guy or woman. Now, bookmark a clan to make it nice and easy. There we go. Old mate Smiley. October 2018, 6185. I believe that's also when he got his personal best. So someone has cracked 6200 since Town Hall 12 came out as a Town Hall 11. And it's a decent effort. I think at this time I was about 6100. I think I got a 6130 odd during that season, but that was the best I pulled. He ended on 6185. So I mean, all credit to Smiley. It's a solid effort. Unfortunately, that means he has the world record. Not this guy. Not this guy. Anyway, we'll bring him up on Clash of Stats, and we can bring it up there because obviously you would have seen there he's a Town Hall 12. How do I know he didn't get that as a Town Hall 12? Firstly, he was listed here as a Town Hall 11, and I trust that this is correct. Secondly, if we bring him up within this, we can actually have a look at his upgrade information. Just a second, once it loads. Where are you, man? There we go. Bring him up. Now, I think he's from I'll bring up the rankings. I think he's from the Philippines, so I was well and truly halfway through the alphabet. Yeah. And he's listed as a Town Hall 12 here. He was listed as a Town Hall 11 beforehand, which skews the ranking. So perhaps because I looked up his profile, it changed things, and he's now listed as a Town Hall 12. So this research and system isn't perfect. But when I did look him up, his name came up, and I know that he's got me beat. If I was to look now, there would be no other Town Hall 11 higher than me. But that I can find. But if I was to look at his history, bring that up. It actually shows, if you look at the progress log, when players upgraded certain buildings, etc. And as we can see here, in January is when he moved up everything across the board. Very disappointing. So part of me is hoping this was some sort of glitch, purely because it doesn't have any record of his trophy levels over this time. So maybe Clash of Stats just didn't grab his info during this time, and maybe he upgraded to Town Hall 12 at the very beginning, and this was a Town Hall 12 record. But I'm willing to trust Clash of Stats, despite it means I lose the title, in my opinion, in that he was Town Hall 11 when he earned that. So as you can see, January, Town Hall 12, the heroes, everything going to max, and he finished off his warden in April last year. Another metric they have here, which you can look up to see how people are tracking, is on the stats, and it mentions sort of their cup levels and whatnot. So we go down to here, trophies. Unfortunately, October's missing, and because of that, I don't know if the information, as I already said, regarding his Town Hall upgrade is accurate. But number 2, I'll take it. Number 2 is in the world for a Town Hall 11 push. It's brilliant. Wanted to get this video out just before I hit Town Hall 12. I'm about 4 hours away now. So I still know that I'm basically sitting at the top of the game, and really looking forward to the big grind at 12, getting that done and pushing as a 12 and seeing where I can actually sit against the real pushers, basically, because the core pushers at Town Hall 12, you won't have the best of the best at Town Hall 11. But there we go. 4.5 hours to go. Can't wait.